Hey everyone, this is Fabio and welcome to part 2 of my fighting game memories. And during the last episode, I described mainly how I came into contact with fighting games by trying, let's say like that, trying to go to arcades, saw the first games at the time, and especially thanks to the Super Nintendo, I would start playing fighting games like Street Fighter 2, and in my case was mainly Killer Instinct. So for this time, we're moving to the next generation, to the 32-bit one, and the one that to me will always regard it as probably my golden era as a video gamer, and I'm talking about the PlayStation 1 era. As you know, I skipped the N64 because I wasn't really attracted by it, if I can say, and I didn't find, while reading magazines, because at the time I started reading video game magazines, reading a lot of games that really um, I was very interested in. Because at the time I was probably growing up, I wanted something more mature, more uh, just different. I wanted more RPGs, something that the Nintendo 64 couldn't offer. So I jumped into the PlayStation and I love it. As I said, this is my golden era as a video gamer. The PlayStation 1, it's a system that I have so many great memories. I've spent so many thousands of hours, I believe, playing some of the greatest games of all time, and it always be regarded as one of my favorite consoles ever. And this also includes fighting games, because after the amazing success that Killer Instinct and Street Fighter 2 had on me with the Super Nintendo, after I think probably a year that I have the PlayStation, I start thinking, well, I would like a new fighting game, a next generation fighting game, because that was the big deal, especially with that skip in the mid 90s. I mean, with the N64 PlayStation, we had the skip between 2D and 3D. Amazingly enough, my fighting games, are not 3D, but that's another story. It doesn't matter because I wanted next generation amazing fighting game that could like blew me away with its awesome graphic, incredible gameplay. It already happened with other games, even from platformers to RPG and everything. I wanted the next fighting game. The same friend who introduced me to Street Fighter 2, strangely enough, but not really, as I will explain, also introduced me to one of my favorite fighting games of all time, probably my second favorite, I can say now, and a game that not only really caught my attention, but made both of us fanatic with it. We couldn't stop playing it. And the game is none other than the amazing Street Fighter Alpha 3. I absolutely love this game. As I told you, I was completely crazy about it, but I didn't own it. Back then, I do now, but at the time, I couldn't buy games that often. A little more in high school, I have to say. I managed to buy games a little more often, not only Christmas and birthday, but still not enough to increase my collection rapidly as I wanted with the PlayStation. So this friend actually was very lucky because his father actually liked video game. He still does. So he actually managed to have more games than I do, to buy them more often than I do. So one day he called me, and like always, we used to hang out very, very often, almost every day. So in high school, we were in different classes, so um, maybe we didn't hang out every single day, but almost. And I remember one day he called me and said, "You have to come over tomorrow at my place after school," and just say, "I got a new Street Fighter game." And obviously, all the memories of playing Street Fighter 2 with him or Killer Instinct are incredible memories of fighting games together came back in an instant and say, "Oh my god, absolutely, absolutely, I'm coming right now if I could. I'll see you tomorrow." So after school, we went together to his place. He turned on his PlayStation, and we started playing Street Fighter Alpha 3. And that was it. We spent the entire afternoon and for months, every single afternoon, playing Street Fighter Alpha 3. It was unbelievable. And like always, since I didn't own it, he was better than me. But it was also very kind of him to say that he lent it to me for like a couple of weeks or something, so that I could train with the PC, with the computer, and raise my skills, of course. So I did it for 2 weeks. I played only Street Fighter. I didn't do anything else. I ignored my RPGs and everything else for Street Fighter. I became really good with certain characters. Obviously, like always Ken, I always like him. But in my case, the character that I was amazing with was Evil Ryu because I always loved that character. So by the time I gave him back his game, we started playing again together again, and the matches that we had, they were wars, not even battles. It lasted for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and they were so intense. We were like sweating. Um, I didn't smoke yet at the time in high school. I did for like my last 2 years or something, but we started like drinking a lot and play so much. The match was so intense. Like the controllers were all sweating, and our both our hands hurt so badly because we were just doing combos after combos. We had after like 2 matches just drop the controllers and relax our fingers because they hurt so much. And also it was common for us to have an audience since our matches were so spectacular and so intense. We were just swearing at each other like, "You motherfucker, you can't," all like this, both of us screaming like crazy. It was unbelievable because the rivalry went at the point, like it was so over the top. It was possible, I think, to hear our screams for like the other side of the road. Basically, were so intense, and this lasts for every single afternoon. Basically, it was incredible. And I remember that usually, as I said, we have audience. Like, both these two sisters who used to watch us and like cheer. Like one of them supported me, the other supported him. It was amazing. It was so much fun, and we did this for like months and months. We didn't do anything else. We loved the game so much, and I still remember some things that I love about this game. I mean, where could I even start with the good things of Street Fighter 2? Alpha 3, sorry, I was so over the top with all the memories that are coming back. Well, first of all, the controllers are perfect for with the PlayStation controllers. You can do any combos easily. It was very easy to play, and I love this in fighting games that you don't have to look at the manual or download from the internet or whatever any um, move lists. I hate when fighting games are like that, and I have some of them that are like that, and I hate that. The graphics, I love the graphics. I said that, well, we were all excited for the skip from 2D to 3D. This wasn't the case. It was all 2D, but it was so beautifully drawn. Every single stage was beautiful. The characters, so many characters, by the way, I love that. There were so many characters that you can use. As I say, my favorite's always been Ken and Evil Ryu in this game, and I was amazing with them. But also others. I don't even remember all of them now because there's so many. Like, um, the classic Street Fighters and the newer one. Like, I always use a lot of Judy and Junie. I like the idea of the twins, and I think that I love was the attention to details. It's exquisite in these games. It really was Capcom Golden Age, I think, with games during the PlayStation era in particular. We had all the greatest games like both Street Fighter, Resident Evil, Strider 2, Dino Crisis. I mean, Capcom was on fire during this era. It was so amazing being a video gamer during the PlayStation 1 era, and especially like I'm a little more mature than before. Like before, like during the NES, SNES, my tastes were a little different, and now I wanted a more interesting game. And with the PS1, I was very satisfied. Like some details, I remember every time that my friend and I fought in this game, we always have, as I said, either Ryu and Shinakuma. How can I forgot the intro? Before the battle, the two characters are just like moving, like teleporting one against the other, and start beating the shit out of them, and then they start the actual battle. That was amazing. I always loved that. I was so in love with this game. I loved it so much that I used to have like writing. I used to write. I always writing by myself stories from video games and fan fiction, whatever. I used to write so many stories based on Street Fighter Alpha 3 within the characters, everything. I used to even imagine them in my mind while I was playing. Oh yes, this could be this situation involving into this. The story can move this way. That Yeah, I was crazy about that game. I wrote, I think, at least 20 or even more fan fiction based on Street Fighter Alpha 3. I was completely crazy about the game, and soon of course, I will review the movies based on this franchise. But that's another episode at all. So I decided to do just a full and quick review of my memories playing this incredible game during the PlayStation era, and that concludes part 2 of my fighting game memories. Tune in next time for the third and final episode where I'll actually talk about my favorite fighting game of all time, even better than Street Fighter. That's true, you heard it well. And also some brief description of fighting games of the next generation. So moving on to the Xbox and the Wii and more closer to these actual days. So like always, leave video responses, comments, whatever you like. Just keep the comments going, and thanks for watching, guys. Take care.